Well, let's bring in Peter McGuire, Chief Executive of TradingPoint.com. Peter, as we just heard there, a cautious approach by the Fed Chair Jerome Powell. But the markets have reacted positively to that. But what does that mean for us here in Asia?
Well, absolutely. I think, Stephen, building on it, the record close overnight for the Standard & Poor's 500, the Australian market's up, and positive tone across equity markets. So I'm thinking that over this trading session and probably into tomorrow, there'll be a little bit of a bounce to the upside as far as positive tone.
What does this mean for sort of Asian economies going forward then, if these rates are to hold steady?
Well, there comes the next part of it, where 67% chance as far as a rate cut in June. That's where the analysts are putting it. And I think overall momentum to the upside. So there could be a good little rally as far as Asia and rolling across the whole fabric of Asia into Australia as well. So I think it could be a good news story.
And the way the Fed is handling this, does a soft landing looks like it could be on the cards? And everybody wants sort of certainty when it comes to markets and how things are progressing. That's also a positive outlook for Asia, isn't it?
Well, exactly right. I think that's what they're after. I mean, naturally, you're looking at 3 rate cuts this year. That's what Jerome Powell is saying. And the next part of it is whether you're going to see central banks in Asia copy that sort of movement later in the year as well. And the whole theme is one of a very soft landing as long as inflation remains or gets to that 2% to 3% target range.
Yeah, that is what the Fed is always targeting, that 2% inflation rate. A lot of the discussions of where this is going is based on the strength of the U.S. economy. Can you give us an idea of why the U.S. economy is so strong?
Well, you've only got to look at it as far as equity markets. They've been extraordinary over the last 14 or 15 months. That's been strongly bid up. You've got reasonably good unemployment in the sense it's low, and that's been strong. And the inflation side of it with higher interest rates is certainly biting the consumer, but the overall momentum of the economy has been relatively, bulletproof. So as it rolls forward, we've got to see how that maintains over the Northern Hemisphere summer. And it might just happen to be a relatively good roll-up as far as, an election year as well.
Peter, thank you as always. Good to speak to you. Peter McGuire, Chief Executive at TradingPoint.com.